Welcome to Drill Down Earnings. We have quarterly results out from Twilio. This is the business story behind one stock and a move. I'm Cory Johnson, Chief Market Strategist for Epistrophy Capital Research. We look at the 50 most important companies in technology, and Twilio is a really interesting one. It's a turnaround story, and who doesn't love a heartwarming turnaround story? Pockets of grace disappear. We're much better now. Twilio earnings, so Q1 2025 earnings from this company. This was better than Wall Street expected, $170 million in revenues, $20 million profit, the best profit we've seen in a while from this company. Wall Street, it was a beat, but we want to look deeper than that. Let's look at the business here, what's actually going on here beyond the sort of top line numbers. So Twilio is a cloud communications platform. So what does it mean? They let businesses do voice, messaging, video, email in their marketing or just customer communication. So like when a customer gets a text message confirming an appointment with a doctor, or they get an SMS two-factor authentication code from a bank, it's often powered by Twilio. Lyft is an example. Lyft uses Twilio to anonymize phone numbers, facilitate secure communications between drivers and customers through in-app messaging and other messaging options they've got there. The business really ran into trouble. They had some technological problems. They weren't really at the cutting edge of the market. But growth is back, revenue growth of 12%, really picking up with a big turnaround there. And they launched a lot of new products that are helping that. So AI-powered voice innovations like custom relay, which is a HIPAA-eligible thing using voice, or generative custom operators. So generative AI operators, those tools are driving adoption among startups and big companies like Cedar Health and Bland.ai are some customers they've talked about. They also talked about cross-selling of multiple Twilio products. So selling messaging and voice and email and other advanced things like SMS spam protection and thing they have called Verify. A lot of the independent software vendors are rolling Twilio into their products, and the result is customer growth is back. Customer growth now up to 7% for this company after really tailing off for many years there. And international is doing well for the company. They talked about a customer, one of the Chelsea Football Club, which is signed a segment partnership for personalized fan engagement, which you can imagine with text and voice and email and so on. They're also using AI within their sales effort. So they had big cutbacks, they had big layoffs there, but now 85% of their inbound sales are managed by AI initially. And those AI assistants are 3 times more likely to convert to paid accounts than actual humans answering the phone. So an interesting use of AI, which has led to cost cutting, which worked at this company, which now they're actually showing a profit. So how did the stock react? The market loved this. Stock was up 9% in after hours. Stock's up 61% in the last year, vastly outperforming the rest of technology, just in spite of all the sell-offs we've seen after the tariff concerns and the recession concerns of the White House. When asked about what the future is of AI and how that might change the business, Khozema Shipchandler, the CEO of Twilio, had this to say.
By and large, today, what you're seeing play out is really animated by AI. Voice still has some of the hangover, right, from robocalling and stuff like that in terms of like a pure play channel. But as it relates to AI, so many of these interactions take place through voice that I think that's what ends up driving a lot of the recent resurgence, a lot of the interest. Obviously, you've got thousands of startups who are building their own voice AI capabilities. And so I think that's pretty exciting and very interesting for the channel. So I think that is kind of the basis of really what we're seeing. And I think we're seeing it in a number of different pockets. I think that what's exciting for me about it is that much in the same way that you saw for the preponderance of our business, that's going to end up translating into more meaningful interactions through SMS and email over time as well. So I think voice is interesting, at least right now, and I think it will be for a sustainable period of time. But I think even more interesting is some of the cross-channel applicability that goes beyond that.
So I think we've just seen the beginning of AI at Twilio, maybe more cost cutting going forward just because they can as they grow, because of the success they're seeing with AI. But what's that all mean? What's your big drill on earnings takeaway? And the one number that tells us a whole lot, we've got that. So Q1 earnings from Twilio, your essential summary tells you that $1.17 billion in revenues and $20 billion in profits was better than Wall Street expected, but maybe just better than it's been for this company. And that's really good news for Twilio. And I promise you the drill on earnings bite, the one number that tells you a whole lot. 2% EBITDA margins or EBIT margins, operating margins for this company. Not a lot to write home about, but it's a lot better what we've seen from Twilio. It's why the stock is up over 60% in the last year. A real turnaround at Twilio. All right, thanks for checking out Drill Down Earnings. Follow us on all the socials. I'm Cory Johnson.